So West Ham have been tearing it up in the transfer window so far, signing no less than 7 players. But is this another false dawn for the East London club, or are they finally knocking on the door of the top 4? I'm with Nicky from West Ham Fan TV. How are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm over the moon, to be honest with you, Flav. It's been a long time coming, I think, since we moved. This is our 3rd year in this stadium now. And it's something that we was promised when we first got to the London Stadium. So it's nice to see, it's nice to see them put their hands in their pocket. I'm a little bit sceptical whether it's going to be too much too soon. You know what I mean? We see whatever happened with Everton last year. They went out and splashed the cash and, they started off really badly. But I've got a good feeling about this season. I've got a good feeling about the players we've brought in. I think we've brought in some quality. I don't think it's always about the money you spend. We've added some real quality to our team. We've added some real pace. We've added a couple of, solid defenders, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing the season getting kick off now.
So let's go through some of the signings you signed them. It's perhaps not the most exciting way to start, but Fabianski from Swansea, Player of the Year for them. I think the last 2 seasons, obviously goalkeeping being an issue for West Ham, Hart not being good enough last year.
I think it's an improvement on what we had. I mean, Adrian's a very good keeper, but I think, for that goalkeeping position, you need 2 real good quality goalkeepers battling it out. I think Fabianski was fantastic for Swansea last year. As you said, he was their Player of the Year. He came with high recommendations. And when you're looking at, people spending like £70 million on goalkeepers these days, to get a good quality one for £7 million, it's good business.
Ryan Fredericks, Fulham, a good signing at right back, but perhaps some debate about whether or not he is Premier League quality. Is he signed as cover for Zabieta? He looked leggy at times last season. Is the signing of Fredericks at right back enough?
Right back's always been a position that we've struggled with. Before Zaba, I don't think we had a proper right back for a long time. Obviously, we've still got Byron, but we're expecting him to move on. But Fredericks brings something that we ain't had for a while, and that's a bit of pace down the wing. He's played a lot of Championship football. He was one of Fulham's better players, and they was desperate to keep hold of him. It tells you something about the boy, because they're in the Premier League now, and he could have stayed there for another season. But yeah, I think it's just what we need. Zaba's a good, solid, reliable defender. I think with what we've brought in as well beside him, I think we're going to be fine there. If Fredericks plays after games this year and gives Zaba, that little bit of rest that he needs at times because he's getting on now, I think it's a good signing. It cost us nothing.
Fabian Balbuena from Corinthians, 3.5 million, and Issa Diop, who's a very interesting signing, 22 million, big money, but at 21 was Toulouse captain last year, played 84 games for the French side, a lot of experience for a young player. He's been in and around the international side as well for France. So, what do you think will be your starting centre-back pairing, given the fact he's still got Ogbonna, obviously Reed's injured, and obviously Rice, who had an impressive debut season as well. How do you see them lining up?
I think it'll be Oggy, Ogbonna and Reed. I think we'll start. But we've got options. Balbuena, obviously, it's hard to get a grasp on what exactly you bought there. But from what I've seen on YouTube, and don't get me wrong, I know YouTube, it can be it can give you false dawn sometimes, because obviously they're not going to put the rubbish clips in, are they? They're going to put the best ones. But from what I've seen of him, he looks like he commands the defence very well, which is something that we've struggled with a little bit over the last couple of years, especially with Reed being in and out of the side. But Issa Diop is exciting. I mean, that's an exciting signing. To be a captain of a top French league side at 21, in and around the French squad, it says something about the boy. At 21, he's always going to improve. He'll improve massively as a defender, even if it's just learning at the moment. You know what I mean? But I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see Balbuena. I think Balbuena might end up stepping in front of Diop halfway through the season if Diop, makes a few mistakes. But I think it's all good. It's all, it looks like we're building not only for now but for the future as well, which is something that we haven't done for a long while.
You talk about building for now, and obviously you talked about Diop being scouted by Arsenal, and one player that Arsenal did let go, which I think will be a mistake. He should have been on that plane to Russia in the World Cup. One, Jack Wilshere, you've picked up for free.
Jack Wilshere is probably one of the most blessed English midfielders since Gascoigne, to be quite honest with you. Probably, maybe Joe Cole had the potential, but with Wilshere, he's been in the Arsenal side since he was so young, and he's as good now as he was when he first burst on the scene. He's not one of these kids that came in, showed a lot of promise and never fulfilled it. It's only injuries. It's only injuries. And I know we've been burned with injuries before, obviously with Carroll and Reed and Lanzini that spends long times out. When you're picking up a player of Jack Wilshere's class for free, you've literally got a free pass. But last 2 years, he's been pretty much injury free. He's had a few, small niggles, nothing like what hit him earlier on in his career. And the fact that he's only 25, I think that's fantastic business.
Is that the end of Mark Noble as a starting midfielder for West Ham?
No, I don't think so. I think he plays alongside Noble, and he looks to be a very big, integral part of his side. I know Jack Wilshere hasn't played yet, so maybe time will tell when the World Cup stars start coming back and when everyone gets back in the first team. But he started with him. He's a club captain.
Okay, so if Wilshere plays, further up the pitch, how do you fit in Yarmolenko? How do you fit in Anderson? You've already got Arnautovic. You've already got Lanzini when he comes back as well. Of all the comparisons that I can see to Everton, and I don't think there are many other than the number of players coming in, I think Everton's problem was that they bought too many of a similar type of player. Obviously, there's free starting berths if you play that 4-2-3-1 at West Ham. But how do you fit all these guys in? How do you fit Anderson? He's got to start if you're paying that kind of money. Yarmolenko has a massive reputation.
That's a great problem to have. You should never be too upset that you've got too many to choose from. If someone's got to sit out for 1 week, that means they've got to work harder to get back in the team. So, competition for places. I mean, it's no good in having a great starting 11 and having trash on the bench. You want people fighting for them positions. You want people to make them positions their own. West Ham haven't rested on their laurels because we was all sceptical. We was all saying, if they get Yarmolenko, they won't get Anderson, and if they get Anderson, they won't get Yarmolenko. They've gone out and bought them both. Yeah. The same with Balbuena and Diop. Other years it'd be one or the other. They've gone and got them both. They think, right, there's some quality there to be had, and we're going to get it, and that's it.
Just a quick question then about the board. Obviously, towards the end of last season, there's massive unrest at West Ham. That isn't just about buying players and selling players. There's a lot about the issues around the move and how that came about. Obviously, you're at the stadium now. You've got to get on with it. Is the mood around West Ham a lot more positive now? And is the belief that perhaps you do have the right board after all? Is there a common feeling towards that at all, or are West Ham fans still ready to march the minute things go right?
Well, there's obviously scepticism around the club as well. We're all looking, the transfers that are coming in, and we're waiting for someone to leave. You know what I mean? So we're thinking to ourselves, right, well, who's going? Are they selling an Arnautovic? Are they signing all these players because they know they've got 65 million coming in for an Arnautovic? So there's a lot of scepticism, and I think they've got a long way to go before they completely convince everyone that their heart is in the right place. I think, to be honest with you, these signings, I think that they've come as a consequence of what happened back in March. But you've got to take your hats off. They've gone out and got a top manager. They've gone out and got top players. They've given him all the tools he needs to succeed. And, even if it doesn't go right, even if we don't have the best of seasons next season, as long as we're not battling relegation, I think everyone will say, right, that's a step in the right direction. They're allowing Pellegrini freedom to change things at the club, whereas other times maybe it wasn't the fact that they didn't trust the manager that was there. I think he's gone in today and he's told them that he wants a new training ground installed because the one that we've got is just not good enough. And it seems like they're listening to him. It seems like they're taking notice. They're thinking with their heads rather than their wallets. They're not thinking about what they can save and what they can't spend. They're actually got the money in the bank. They're saying, right, let's get beyond the man. Let's make this club a success. And I think, the sceptic in me says they want to do it because of, I think they're a couple of years away now from selling. I think that in 2-3 years' time, I don't think they'll be there. If you drive the club into the ground, it won't be worth it as much as it would if we were challenging for Europe. But if they're putting their hand in their pocket and they're making us a success, they deserve to get as much money as they can when they decide to sell. But if I'm still not convinced they're doing it for the right reasons. But success is success, and going forward is going forward. And in the last couple of years we've been in recession in terms of playing squad, and we all feared the worst last year. So they're doing their bit, so we need to do our bit.
Well, there you have it. You've heard from Nicky from West Ham Fan TV. West Ham putting the Premier League on notice, in my opinion. I think there's going to be some big shocks next season. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Remember to hit like and subscribe to Ball Street. We're coming back next season, bigger and better than ever. We'll see you soon.